Welcome to the fourth edition of Box Office Battles, the series where we talk about movies going up against each other at the box office just to see who made the most amount of money. For the final one of 2025, let's take a look back at this year and discuss the live action remakes and a bunch of other stuff too. Yeah, we're going to talk about the live action remakes. Are you surprised? No. Am I surprised? No. Are we just gonna do this? Yes. So let's get it started. The first, and one of our more recent contenders, is the live action Lilo and Stitch and Mission Impossible The Final Reckoning. First, there is Lilo and Stitch. On a budget of $100 million, it made a grand total of $1.03 billion. And as for Mission Impossible The Final Reckoning, it had a budget around $300 to $400 million, but only made $598.8 million. So, Mission Impossible Final Reckoning definitely lost some money, and Lilo and Stitch definitely made some money. So, the winner for this first round is Lilo and Stitch. The second round is Cinderella and the Divergent series Insurgent. For Cinderella, it was made on a shockingly low budget of $95 million, and for the worldwide box office, it made $543.5 million. And as for the Divergent series Insurgent, it had a budget of $110 million and had a worldwide box office total of $297.3 million. And although none of them managed to reach a billion, Cinderella managed to make more money by being cheap and making the more money out of the two. So, second round goes for Cinderella. The next round is the remake of Aladdin and Brightburn. For Aladdin, it had a bigger budget of $183 million, but it dominated the box office with $1.05 billion worldwide. As for Brightburn, it had a really small budget of $6 million, but it also had a pretty low worldwide box office with $33.2 million. So obviously, Aladdin wins this round. The next unfortunate contenders are Snow White and the Alto Knights. For Snow White, that one had a even bigger budget of around $240 to $270 million. But for the box office, it only made $205.7 million. As for the Alto Knights, that one had a bit of a lower budget of around $45 to $50 million. That one did worse at the worldwide box office with $9.6 million. Honestly, both of these are losers, but I think Snow White is definitely the bigger loser here. So, Alto Knights gets away losing a little bit of money, I guess. The second to last contenders are Alice Through the Looking Glass and X-Men Apocalypse. Alice Through the Looking Glass had a budget of $170 million, and it didn't do great at the box office with $299.5 million worldwide. Maybe it might be a decent success, but I don't know. As for X-Men Apocalypse, that one roughly cost the same thing with $178 million for the budget, and it did beat out Alice with a worldwide box office total of $543.9 million. So the X-Men win this round. And our final contenders for this edition of Box Office Battles are Mufasa the Lion King and Sonic the Hedgehog 3. Mufasa had a high budget of $200 million, but it did really good at the box office somehow with $723 million worldwide. As for Sonic the Hedgehog 3, it had a smaller but big budget of $122 million. But for the worldwide box office, despite what the fans think, it didn't beat out Mufasa, only reaching $492.2 million worldwide. And yeah, that's all we got for this part, ladies and gentlemen. Like always, if you want to suggest a potential idea for a box office battles, you can leave it down in the comments, and maybe I could see what I could do. And that's all for the box office battles of 2024. I hope to see you guys in 2026 with more box office battles and more movies duking it out at the box office. Thanks for watching, I guess.